Time to Shine Today podcast varsity squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I love my next guest. She's fantastic. She's from the awesome state of Texas. And believe it or not, if you're watching, she has been self-employed for 15 years. She doesn't look like a day over 22, 23 years old, but this young lady really is chock full of wisdom. She's going to drop some serious knowledge nuggets on you. And again, like I said, Rai Hyde Cornell has been self-employed for 15 years, from being a solo copywriter to building a full-service content marketing agency. Her experience spans countless industries and types of writing. Today, she teaches aspiring freelancers how to build healthier, happier businesses so they can enjoy stable, reliable income doing what they love. And she's a published author now, squad, the complete step-by-step process. And we're going to have a book giveaway, but you have to listen to the end to get the giveaway. So, Ms. Rai, thank you for coming on. Please introduce yourself to the Time to Shine Today podcast varsity squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Oh, well, I think just take one look at me and you can guess. Blue.
I didn't notice your hair when we were all fighting.
Half my hair is blue.
That is cool, man. And like, look at your marketing with the Cornell content marketing. It's blue as well. That's fantastic. And it fits you. It's in your color wheel, right? And I'm literally looking at the Atlantic Ocean right now, and it is really blue, and I'm loving it. So there we go.
And that's why I love blue. It's a nice, stoic, strong, soothing color, but at the same time, it instills confidence, and it's really what I try to do for my clients as well. So
absolutely. Okay, my friend, let's get to the roots a little bit of where you were and what got you to where you are and how you're helping people level up.
Yeah, so I've been freelancing since I was old enough to even think about having a job. And over the years, I went through what we're all supposed to do. I got the good grades in high school, even though, and you can read about this in my book if you so choose, but dropped out of high school, went to college early, went into the very corporate mental health world, and used my 3 degrees to nestle into this niche in the mental health industry of being a counselor in the prison system. And I just totally burned out. I hated being an employee. I was a terrible employee. And so even though I was a great student, I knew that being beholden to some company, some corporation was not for me. And so I threw myself full time into what had carried me through school, carried me through life, which was freelance writing.
Wow. And so I didn't hear, did you go to college for freelance writing?
No, I went to college for psychology. So I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, a master's in professional clinical counseling and marriage and family therapy, and a master's in criminology. So
your blue hair, don't care, and a smarty pants. That's what you're saying, right? Love it. I love that. So what got you into the freelance writing then?
It was really a natural ability. It was something that I was always good at, words. Mm-hmm. Writing was something that came naturally to me. I feel like everybody has that natural thing. For some people, it's athleticism. For some people, it's art. For some people, it's writing. For some people, it's speaking. Everyone has a natural thing. And that just became my comfort zone. It became my creative outlet. And when I went to school, college at 17, I needed to get a job on campus. And that's where I started, was writing content for the individual departments' websites and doing their coding and things like that. And it stuck.
Wow. That's amazing. Because I do get stuck writing. I can really speak. So we spoke off mic, and when I'm writing my book, I actually talk. And then I start typing it out and put a story frame around that, which is kind of my question of, how do you help? Do you work with freelance writers only, or is that your niche, if you will?
That's a great question. No, I work with anybody who would consider themselves as self-employed creative. I also work with people who they're in corporate America, they're in a traditional job, maybe at a small business, a large business, and they want to do something new and creative and something that's just for them. And so a lot of my clients are actually in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they're going through a career change and they want to be freelance something. And so I help them figure out what that natural talent really is, because when you can tap into that, it's almost like this endless source of energy. You never get tired of it.
Sure. Yeah. And when you say the freelance, is it so people have a a career or a job, or are they looking to freelance themselves as writers for other companies? Or I'm just really trying to really unpack that part.
Yeah, typically they have a traditional job, but they want to leave that job completely and be completely self-employed. So I work with freelance writers, designers, photographers, branding experts, VAs, business managers, all sorts. Anybody who is really in the service-based business or wants to be. Some people that I start working with, they don't even have a business when we start.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's really cool. So if you and I meet at a networking event, well, I hope we do one day, you know, we're talking, I shut my mouth, open my ears, and I ask you, you know, what do you do for a living? What's your reply to that?
Well, I would say I help aspiring freelancers build healthier, happier, more profitable businesses. And I can pull in all of the tools that they need because I have built 2 successful freelance businesses of my own. And I've worked in hundreds of other businesses, both service-based, product-based, and B2B enterprise businesses.
Wow, that's fantastic. So when you work a lot one-to-one, right? Okay. So when you're maybe in the discovery period, see if they really want to hire you, if you don't mind sharing some of that secret sauce that you have to maybe help them find their blind spot.
Did you say find their blind spot?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So oftentimes when people are thinking about a career transition, and actually this is very real and raw for me right now because my husband's going through the same thing. He's been with FedEx for almost 20 years. He hits 20 years in June, and he wants to do something on his own. He wants to be self-employed. And so we're looking at, okay, so what do you actually enjoy doing? What can you make money doing? And what are you so insanely interested and passionate about that this is something that if you are 3 years in, you're still in love with it and you're not going to burn out, get distracted, and want to move on to something else. And oftentimes when people are wrestling with this on their own, and actually I'm working with a wonderful woman right now. She's in her 50s and she thinks that, you know, when we first started working together, she thought she couldn't make the change. And that was her blind spot. She goes, I can't do anything other than data entry, which is what she's been doing for 20 years. And so we met and I'm saying, tell me about your life. Tell me about what you're good at. Tell me about what you're interested in. What are your hobbies? What relaxes you? And we realized she's actually a phenomenal writer. And so she was able to launch her freelance writing business in about 3 months because she already had a head start that she was blind to. She just thought, oh yeah, I'm good at that. You know, I write our Christmas letter or whatnot, but she didn't see that as a marketable skill. And so it's really my experience in so many different businesses gives me this great vantage point because there's really nothing that you cannot turn into a business. I have a friend who literally makes a living spinning basketballs on wine bottles. So
really,
nothing that you can't do. Yeah, he's fantastic.
That's awesome. That is so unique. You're a breath of fresh air on stuff because you're really helping people understand that there is more to them and that they can find that passion and build a solid, profitable business out of it. And fantastic. And not, you know, I love that you said 3-year burnout because that's when people usually hit it because they're so passionate, they grind. You know, there's someone like you that really can help them push through. So while you're maybe in this discovery period, Ray, is there, you guys are kind of talking things out and whatnot. Is there any good question that you wish they would ask you, but never do?
Oh, but never do. I don't know that there's a question that my clients never ask me because really when we work together, freelancing is a lifestyle. And so there's nothing that's off limits. If you want to have children and you're trying to become pregnant, that's going to impact your business and your business is going to impact your ability to provide for your family. If you want to travel a lot, if you have depression, anxiety, if you have a family of 2 or a family of 10, all of those are factors that go into building your business. And so there's really nothing that we don't touch on. And I think in kind of a reverse way of answering your question, that's exactly what I would tell people is don't hold back. Ask everything, ask anything. If there's something that you feel like, oh, I'm not going to be able to build this business or I'm not going to be able to freelance because of XYZ, talk about it. Let's figure out how that piece needs to inform your business model. because I
Wow.
guarantee you there is nothing that would be able to stand in your way of building a successful business. There's one man I work with, he's absolutely delightful, but he is almost paralyzed from the neck down. So
Wow.
he has a very limited mobility. He can't even type, and he really can only sit, and he can only sit upright for a certain number of hours a day.
Mm.
And yet still, he has designed a business model that suits his life. It's not meant to be the other way around. You're not meant to grind it out and build a business just for the sake of it. Your business is supposed to support you and what you want out of life.
Wow. Can you say that? Let's hear that again. Your business is to support you and what you want out of life, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. So how are you so wise at such a young age?
Well, you got to read the book.
Okay.
I won't go into the whole long
Okay.
story. You can read the book.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's impressive. It just is. So have you seen the movie? You're a little bit younger, but have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get in that DeLorean with Marty McFly. Let's go back to the 17 or 18-year-old Ray. Okay. What kind of knowledge nuggets with what you know now would you drop on her to maybe help her, not so much change anything, Ray, but shorten the learning curve, maybe level up a little bit quicker?
Oh boy, that's a good question. Like you said, I wouldn't change anything. As
absolutely not.
As marred and painful as some parts of our past are, they make us who we are, and we needed to go through those things in order to become who we are today. But I would say that, early in my career, I'll use air quotes for that, early in my quote unquote career,
right.
When I was a 16, 17-year-old freelance writer, I was writing high school and college papers for people.
Wow.
And I felt stuck.
Hopefully for money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know, of course, now that's not ethical, but that's what I was good at. I was so good at school that's what I relied on, especially, getting kicked out at 16, going to college at 17. I had to do something, and that's what I did. And I got really stuck in my head that I was a not legitimate writer because my experience was in academic writing only. And it took me longer than it should have to switch into the more marketable writing that I do today, like blog content, website content, marketing emails, brand messaging, all of that.
Wow. So I got to ask you though, you said twice now you got kicked out of high school, went into college. So how did that work?
I got kicked out of my house when I was 16.
House. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in the book, so I don't want to
And so I decided to drop out of high school when I was 16. And then I got a job at Starbucks, lied about my age, signed off on my own work permit, all that. Wow. And then I went to undergrad when I was 17 and finished that degree in 3 years. So I've always been a bit younger of all of my classes.
Wow, that's just damn impressive. Wow. So how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and death date. Hopefully it's a long way down the road. How do you want your dash remembered?
Oh, wow. That's a powerful question. I wasn't ready for that one. When I'm working one-on-one with someone, and I do have group programs and I do have group workshops that we do every month and things like that, but it's the one-on-one relationships where I see the light come on for people, where they feel like it has been such a grind to get to where they are. And they've been working so hard. They're so tired. They've almost lost hope that there's anything else out there. And then we have these conversations and we start to build this model that is completely custom to them. And when we figure out how much they need to charge, how few clients they really need to get in order to hit their financial goals, how reasonable and how doable it all seems. And then they actually start doing it and they realize they're capable. It's like this light goes off in their heads and their hearts, out from their eyes, that it's like they have new life. And if I can do that for as many people as I can in between that incarnation date and that death date, then that would make me
Wow.
incredibly proud.
And you are young and planting trees you're never going to sit in the shade of. That's fantastic, man. Your tree has a lot of fruit on it. Say the tree with the most fruit bends to the ground, and you're really helping people that are in stuck situations level up and better their life. And that I love hearing that, Ray. So what keeps you up at night?
Time. My calendar fills up.
Yeah.
I want to work with more people. I still very much am working on the balance of my two businesses because I love them both. And I've had coaches and mentors tell me, shut down one, shut down the other, just go all in on one. And I can't do that.
People told me the same. Yeah.
Right. And on the chiron side, I'm helping people build those self-employed businesses. Well, for me, my Cornell side is my self-employed business. So I want to continue walking the walk as I'm talking the talk. And I just I can't abandon either one. I want them both, and I want to do them all the time.
You'll merge them into something. I love that. I mean, I've been a real estate broker since 1999, and I'm really good at it. But real estate to me is kind of like a high school girlfriend, where it's be my first. I will always love her no matter what. But I'm just not as passionate about it. But I won't let her go. So I'm going to have my feet, and it's a lot easier for me to hire somebody to do a lot of the work as I grow my coaching business. So I love that you're passionate about both of them. You don't want to let either one go. And I actually can see, as a coach's standpoint, you can merge them easy or keep them going parallel to each other. So then what do you think people misunderstand the most about you, Ray?
I think because I have been freelance writing for 15 years and I have a much bigger reputation, especially in the subscription industry with brands like Pretty Litter and Vinebox. And I can list so many subscriptions that I have been so fortunate enough to work with, but that's really become my niche, my reputation as a professional. And so starting this new one, and it's been 4 or 5 years now that I've been mentoring other freelancers and self-employed business owners, but not many people know that side of me. They just see me as the copywriters. They see me as the person to go to for the content marketing strategy.
Right.
And so I'm sorry, I forgot what your original question was.
No, what people might misunderstand.
Misunderstand. Yes, it is that dual balance. Having both of those passions, being able to serve both of those populations. I'm not just the writer. I'm not just the business mentor or the freelancing coach. Yeah. I'm really both. And I feel like that's actually what gives me more of an edge because I'm still in the business that I'm coaching people in. That's
fantastic. So he might be actually, no, he's in San Antonio. Seth Erickson, does that ring a bell at all? He actually wrote this book I'm kind of going through. He owns the company called Storify.
Okay.
And he's in Texas. He wrote a book called How to Hack Humans, which is awesome because it's about how to write enticing emails and marketing messages and stuff like that. I got to hook you guys up there in Texas. I always believe in the plus equals minus, where you find someone further ahead than you and learn from them, someone equal to you and trade, and minus and help them level up. So definitely want to make that introduction. I will definitely do that. So let's take out of this equation anything electronic, anything technological, but what are 3 things that Ray can't live without?
I have pens all over my house. Literally everywhere. I even have a pencil in the shower that I use on a waterproof notepad.
Because you never know where ideas are coming, right?
Exactly. And they always seem to come to me in the shower.
Me too, 100%.
And in the car when I'm driving long drives, and so I would definitely say having pens everywhere. Also, even though there are so many great online project management tools and things, I still use a paper planner that I always have in front of me.
It works for you. That's awesome. Yeah.
Exactly. And then I would also say water.
Okay.
Whenever I start to feel like I can't focus, I can't get this project done, I'm hitting a wall, typically because I'm dehydrated.
Dehydrated. Absolutely. I mean, 83% of our body's water or some jazz like that. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, I'm 6'1", I'm 260. I have to drink over a gallon a day for me to feel right. especially when
Exactly.
2-3 o'clock rolls around. I mean, again, I've told you my age is 50. So it's like, it's like every morning I wake up because of all the combat sports and stuff that I played and competed in, like my body has like a check engine light, right? That kind of pops on every day, and it's water after water after water. So, which I love it now. And it's funny because I'll tell my people I coach, I'm like, get hydrated. Like, but I pee every 5 seconds. If you stay hydrated, you don't pee as much. You know what I'm saying? It's like I tell people you got to do it. Oh, can you hear me?
I can. Yeah,
okay.
We froze there for a second.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So, what is Rai's definition of a life well lived?
A life well lived. So one of the things that I tell my freelancers, oftentimes they'll have a goal. And after 3 months, we've hit that goal. And then they set another goal and we hit that 6-month mark and they've hit that goal. And they go, when is it ever going to end? Like, it feels like there's always more for me to do. And I say, yeah, of course there is. That's the point of life. The point of life is to get as far as possible in your own personal evolution, whether that's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, whatever's important to you. And for most of us, it's a combination of all of those things. It's how far can you get? It's about, not to sound too cliche, you can probably find this on a poster at Bed Bath & Beyond, but it's about the journey. It's about that process and that evolution, and how efficient can you get at evolving yourself to another level. So a life well lived for me is not one of stagnation. And you need the plateaus. The plateaus in growth are great because that's when you can refine and optimize, because everything settles down and you can start to see where the gaps are and you can start tightening those up before you go to the next level. But it's about not letting yourself settle.
Wow. Love
not
it.
stopping and just being committed to constantly evolving yourself.
For A-listers, that's what I call my business. For A-listers, the top of one mountain's the bottom of the next. Yeah. And just keep evolving, keep leveling up. That's why we say it here, leveling up. I love, love, love that you said that. So, squad, we are going to take my good friend Rai here through our leveling up lightning round just as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors and affiliates. Time to shine today, Podcast Varsity Squad. We are back, and Rai, you and I, if we ever connect and meet up, we could probably talk 15, 20 minutes on each one of these questions, but you have 5 seconds with no explanations, and they can all be answered that way, I promise you.
Okay.
Okay, you ready to level up?
Ready.
Don't be so serious. Smile that beautiful smile. It's fine. We're going to have fun here. What is the best leveling up advice Rai's ever received?
Received? Go for it.
Yes,
do it scared.
Perfect.
Do it scared.
Do it scared. I actually have that on my wall. Love it. Love it. So share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Meditating every morning, an hour.
And drinking water.
And drinking water.
So you see me, walking down the street. I'm kind of in my doldrums, other than the complete step-by-step process. What other book would you say, hey, Fergie, read this?
It's Vishen Lakhiani's
The Buddha and the Badass?
Not that one. I did like that one, but it's the Code.
Oh, the Extraordinary Mind. The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. Yeah, great book.
The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. Yes.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Good call. What's your most commonly used emoji when you text?
The heart eyes. I love everybody.
Me too. Nicknames growing up?
Ray-Ban.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Chess, checkers, or Monopoly?
Yes, definitely chess.
Which one? Chess? Okay, very good. So what's your go-to ice cream flavor?
Butter pecan.
All right.
That was my quickest one yet.
There's a sandwich called the Ray. What is on that sandwich?
Turkey, avocado, bacon, onion, and Caesar dressing.
You threw in some man candy, that bacon. I love it, love it, love it. So you could take a time machine for one day, come back to present day, but for one day, would you go any time in the past or say 30 years in the future? 30
years in the future.
Very cool. Very cool.
Absolutely.
Favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time or money to?
I have a couple. Wounded Warriors, for sure.
Thank you.
Also the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. They're one of the reasons that my grandma is one of the longest living survivors of leukemia in California.
Thank you. I love both of those. Wounded Warriors is my gig too. I did I served, so it's kind of my thing. So last question, you can elaborate on this one, but what is the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
80s, absolutely.
Really?
One of my very first concert was Metallica when I was 8 years old.
No way, really?
And yep, and I've been to 8 or 9 of their shows, and my dad actually made friends with Kurt Hammett at one point, and they're still in touch over text now.
I will send you a picture off, but like Hetfield and I just had beers a couple weeks ago.
No way.
Yeah, so I know the guys. Wait, I live in Jupiter, Florida.
I thought he doesn't drink now.
Well, he drank the O'Douls. I had my regular.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, it's funny. I saw them when I was young, and like they always come to Florida where I live. I live in basically paradise in Jupiter, Florida. So like Kid Rock is like 6 doors down, and like I get a lot of people that live here, and it was fun. He had some really cool stories and stuff like that, and yeah, Master of Puppets was my jam back in, this was the 80s, and I was a teenager. So at that time, so I just imagine, like 32, what year would that put you be born? Like late 80s? I was born in 1990. Yep. I graduated in 1990. Oh, yeah. Great year. Good time.
And I played drums as a kid, and I secretly wanted to be Lars Ulrich.
Nice. Not a bad one to drum after. Fantastic. So how can we find you?
Pretty much everywhere. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and then of course my websites are where you can find all of my resources. So if you're looking to be a freelance writer, check out cornellcontentmarketing.com. I have guides, I have courses, I have SEO checklists that will teach you how to do everything that your clients are going to ask you to do. And then if you're looking to design a healthier, happier, more profitable freelance business, check me out at chironconsulting.us.
Love that. And all those will be in the show notes. For them to find you. A little bit about the complete step-by-step process for building a business that will support the life you desire. So tell us a little bit. I know that you're a contributing writer, but still you're published. Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the book.
So I think maybe you're thinking about two different things. So I do have an ebook out that's the complete guide to building a successful freelance business. That is a free gift. You can find it on my website at chironconsulting.us. The book that came out is called Corporate Dropouts. And that's an anthology of stories from women who were in corporate America and left, and what it really takes to forge your own path and make your own way in the world.
Wow. And like that's the one you had the chapter in, right?
Yes, I was a contributing author for that one. So one of the chapters is mine.
Got it. And what is the heading of your chapter? What's the name of it?
So mine is called The Black Sheep Who Became the Alpha Wolf.
It fits you perfectly. Fantastic. So one last ask of you here, but can you leave us with one last knowledge nugget we can take with us, internalize, and take action on?
Oftentimes we see our weaknesses that society says are weaknesses, whether it's anxiety, depression, PTSD, the size or shape of your body, your physical abilities. And actually, those are some of your greatest strengths when you decide to build your own business, build your own life, and make your own rules. So anything that you've ever felt shitty about, I guarantee you, we can flip that on its head and make it something that you love about yourself. And
I love that because they let a lot of outside influences make them feel shitty a lot of times, because there's more to them. And sometimes their family members or friends that are loving on them tell them they can't, that crab in a bucket thing, trying to pull them back in. And it sets up their weaknesses when really it's their strengths that need to be unpacked and adjust to the world. I love that you said that. And Squad, we had just gotten an awesome, basically free masterclass from my good friend Rai here. She went to college early, and then worked in the corporate mental health world, but understood that like kind of punching a clock and living under somebody's rules was not her thing. Not that she's so much a rebel, but she's somebody that, saw and wanted to unpack the things within her lifestyle to address the world. She found her creative outlet through freelance writing, and she wants to help you do the same. So if you are, you feel that you might have a creative side, or even if you don't feel you have a creative side, let us make a warm introduction to Rai to help her unpack and see if she can bring it to the surface, and maybe even bring her on as one of her clients. That would be awesome, because she reminds us, freelancing is a lifestyle. It's just not something that you do and kick back and say, I freelance today, or, played a round of golf and that's it, or, it's not that. Freelancing is a lifestyle to Ray, and it is to you as well if you're wanting to build your business, because you're going to have the right marketing that's put out there. And and she reminds us that their businesses are supposed to support us, to support our endeavors, not just the money, but also the passion, the feelings that go into living a leveled up life. She loves to see others succeed. She's actually more interested in hearing your story than telling hers to you. And that's something that at her age, and I know I've called her young, but seriously, early 30s, that's awesome to really hear. If you're kind of stuck, get your asking gear, get out there, ask questions, find a mentor. She'll tell you that. And again, here we believe that, mentoring, the more you mentor, the more immortal you become. Okay. You're passing it forward, you're getting it out there. And again, I'm going to reiterate that Ray is planting trees she's never going to sit in the shade of. And she breaks down her system in an inch by inch. It's a cinch. And by the yard, it's hard. We say that she'll break it down inch by inch so you can really help grow that side of your business. Lastly, she reminds us that what society sees as our weaknesses, and they pour that into you, and it kind of brings you down. Remember, that's probably your strength, and it needs to be unleashed to the world. And get out there and do it. And Ray, you level up your health, you level up your wealth, you're humble, yet you're hungry and curious. And you've earned your varsity squad letter here at Time to Shine today. Thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely love your guts. And I can't wait to collaborate with you in the future, my friend.
Thanks so much, Scott. This has been awesome.
You bet. Bye now.